And I think Drake is jealous of Kendrick because I think Drake is jealous of the respect that Kendrick receives in the hip hop community. And I think Drake looks at it like this: without Kendrick, there is no equal. There is no 1A, 1B. So the fact that Kendrick is just constantly been here throughout Drake's career, I think it's like a fly, like a gnat who just won't go away. So Kendrick and Drake are both jealous of each other. And I'm of the opinion that these guys should publicly piece it up somewhere down the line, you know, smooth things over. But don't get me wrong, I think Kendrick should definitely finish off his GNX tour victory lap. Like, this is well-deserved victory. Decade coming. We've been waiting for this since like 2012. We've been waiting for Kendrick to take Drake head off. Hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video myself, create the thumbnail, everything. So hitting like and subscribe does help a bunch. Thanks so much. Back to the video. I think Kendrick and Drake both owe hip hop an apology. I think it's for the good of hip hop if they piece it up like many legends before them have done after their beefs. I don't even think there's real beef between Kendrick and Drake. I think they're just jealous of each other. Yes, I think Drake is jealous of Kendrick for certain reasons, and I think Kendrick is jealous of Drake for certain reasons. And I think that jealousy just makes them irritated. I think they're just irritated with each other and have been irritated with each other for years. First, let me break down why do I think Kendrick is jealous of Drake, right? You gotta remember, Kendrick Lamar has been rapping since like 03, 04. He's been rapping, releasing mixtapes, probably rapping before that, but as in terms of music release, Kendrick has been rapping for a very long time. Drake has been rapping for a while. He's been releasing music for a while, but it hasn't been since that long. And when Drake finally got on, like in 2008, 2009, it was massive. And Kendrick kind of had to sit back and watch all this play out, all of Drake's successes play out, while he was still struggling to become a rapper. And remember, 08, 09, when Drake is basically becoming a megastar, Drake was a megastar out the gate. Once he got his foot in the rap game, it was immediate stardom, it seems like. His mixtape blew up crazy, So Far Gone. Drake became a superstar, like, I wouldn't say instantly, but once that tape came out, there was no slow buildup after that tape. Instant superstar. And at this time, Kendrick is still struggling. Like, Kendrick is J-Rock's hype man at this time. And it's not like J-Rock was doing well, J-Rock was struggling too. So like Kendrick is the hype man to a struggling rapper and he's trying to become a rapper. Meanwhile, Drake is already a superstar. Kendrick mentions his frustrations with this in his early music. Like, he name drops Drake.
She listening to Drake and all I can say, damn, these niggas that much better than me.
And this is a Kanye West bar that he flipped, but there's some truth behind it. Like, yo, man, like Kendrick is like, I'm so poor. Like, I can't even buy my girl a full meal at KFC. We gotta share plates. We gotta buy one meal and split it between us. You know, I'm struggling. I'm a hype man to a rapper. He's struggling. Like, the whole label is struggling. And you look over at Drake and you just like, bruh, like having this ascension in rap like we've never seen before. It's compounded by the fact that you are looking at Drake like, yo, I'm better than him. Like, I'm way better than him. And then it's compounded by the fact like, yo, your friends is listening to Drake. People passing in cars listening to Drake. My girl is even listening to Drake. And I'm just like, man, like, am I not good enough? So before Kendrick even knows Drake, he's already developing negative feelings towards him. And also remember, Drake came up in the rap game with Kendrick's favorite rapper, Lil Wayne. Drake joined Young Money at the peak of Wayne's popularity. And then they kind of peaked again together from 2010 to about 2012. So you already know Wayne is Kendrick's favorite rapper. So Kendrick is undoubtedly listening to these Lil Wayne records and albums and mixtapes and hearing Drake on them. And as a fellow rapper, Kendrick is probably listening to these tapes like I deserve this spot. Like, I'm better than this dude. I deserve this spot. You listen to Kendrick's early music, he's rapping just like Wayne. Like, it sounds like a spitting image. And it's also some of Kendrick's worst music, like that C4 mixtape and all that, Michael Jordan and all that. But the point is, Kendrick is already building this animosity when Drake doesn't even know him, based on him trying to become a rapper and Drake just coming in and just breaking the doors down like we've never seen before. So there's already animosity building. So that's why I think Kendrick has that jealousy towards Drake. Kendrick mentions it in his music. And I think Drake is jealous of Kendrick because I think Drake is jealous of the respect that Kendrick receives in the hip hop community. And I think Drake looks at it like this: without Kendrick, there is no equal. There is no 1A, 1B for Drake's generation of rap from about 09 to current. There's no close number two to Drake. If you just take Kendrick out of the picture, Drake rose above so many great rappers. There were a lot of great rappers in a generation Drake came up and it was very competitive. Freddie Gibbs, Nipsey, Currency, Wiz, J. Cole, Big Sean, Wale, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz. Like Drake rose above all of them. There would be no number 2. It would clearly be Drake's era if Kendrick did not exist. So when you listen into like Drake records like Tuscan Leather and he's talking ish like, yo,
Tired of hearing about who you checking for now. Just give it time. We'll see who's still around a decade from now.
y'all are popping right now, but we'll see who's still around a decade from now. I think Drake actually believed that. Like, yo, y'all talking about, what's his name? Cedric Lamont, Kendrick who? Yeah, we'll see who's around us. And, 10 years from now, we'll see whose records is classic. We'll see who's still in the game. I think he really felt like that. Like, I'm gonna be the one. So the fact that Kendrick has just constantly been here throughout Drake's career, I think it's like a fly, like a gnat who just won't go away. And now it's not like Drake has a 1A, 1B. Now, like, due to the beef, Kendrick is arguably 1 and Drake number 2. But even before the beef, I think Drake, just the amount of respect and critical acclaim that Kendrick's music got, I think it bothers him because Drake is a hip hop head. He loves hip hop. He grew up listening to underground hip hop, whether you like him or not, he's a hip hop head. So when Kendrick is getting these praises and accolades from these historic radio stations, from these historic magazines, from these legendary rappers, getting anointed king in LA by a group of West Coast legends, I think Drake is just like, I think it bothers him. I think it bothered and still bothers him to this day. And also when you talk about just hip hop conversations in general, Drake got popular in an era where social media also got popular. They got popular together. So there's always these hip hop conversations. And again, Drake is heavy into hip hop. He's probably listening to these conversations. And then when people talk about, oh, who's the best new rapper? Who got the best album? Kendrick's name is just constantly popping up. And I think this is why on Nothing Was the Same, Drake is like, yeah, we'll see who's still around a decade from now. I think it just bothers him. And also I think Kendrick and Drake both view each other as lazy. I think they both view each other as targeting low-hanging fruit with their music. What do I mean by that? I think Kendrick looks at Drake's music and is like, yeah, you don't put no heart and soul into it. You making easy records, club records, music for the chicks. Like, I could do that, but I'm trying to do something bigger and better. Like, I'm trying to deviate from that. Like, I think Kendrick's looking at him like, you're doing low hanging fruit. Like, put some heart and soul in your music. You know what I mean? Say something in your music. You know what I mean? And I think Drake looks at Kendrick similarly. Like, you're doing low hanging fruit. You got these verses where you just name dropping people, putting my name, Wale's name, F the Big Three. Like, you're doing this lazy stuff. Drake has even said this when the Control thing came out.
I'll be real, like, I thought of doing that before. I thought like, man, it would be crazy if I just went off on everybody.
Like, man, I could do that. I've thought about doing it, but this is a lazy route. I think they both are like looking at each other similarly and are irritated by each other. But I don't think there's real beef. I think there's just jealousy. And I think that's why Drake didn't have that much ammo in the beef with Kendrick. He had like really like 1 or 2 songs. Even on Family Matters, it's only really 1 verse going at Kendrick. A lot of the shots that Drake was taking was more so towards Whitney. There was really, like, Drake didn't have anything tangible he can hold on to diss Kendrick with. And I think that's also why Kendrick was using old talking points. Like, nothing Kendrick said about Drake was new, except for the whole daughter verse and Meet the Grounds, which we don't know if it's true or not. But I think that's why neither of them had anything novel to say in the beef, because I don't think they really have a real issue with each other. I think they were just annoyed by each other. I do think there's hatred and jealousy, but I don't think it's based on anything. And then there's also this thing with the fan bases, right? I think due to the beef, Drake fans and Kendrick fans believe something about the other artists that may not necessarily be true. For example, I think Kendrick fans, due to the diss records that Kendrick put out, I think they truly believe that Drake is this pedophilic monster who is, being a monster. Personally, I think Kendrick was pissed off about something, which I'll get to in a minute. But I think he was just trying to win a rap battle. But I would say this to the Kendrick fans. I know many are watching. If it's the case that Kendrick actually thought Drake was doing these crazy things, why are there allegations that both Kendrick and Drake met up before the beef popped off and spoke about the battle? Okay, we're going to battle. Okay, how are we going to do this? Like, they kind of talk about the structure and also boundaries. There's allegations that this happened. And not only are there allegations, it's pretty much confirmed. Drake pretty much confirms that this conversation happened on Push-Ups, and Kendrick pretty much confirms it happened on Euphoria. That's why when you listen to Euphoria, Kendrick is talking about Drake like they're friends. Like, yo, we don't got, like, this is a friendly fade. He's saying this is a friendly fade. This lets you know, yo, we already talked about the battle. To me, this is what it says. To you, it might say something different. We already talked about the battle. It's gonna be a fade. It's gonna be a friendly fade. Keep it that way. Like we already talked about boundaries. So you mentioning my wife on push-ups, bro, just keep it that way. Y'all are my friends, YNW Melly Bar. Like I love y'all. Y'all 3 goats, we're 3 goats, but this is why Euphoria sounds like that to me. It shows that there was some kind of conversation about boundaries. So if Kendrick is actually thinking this guy is a monster, why would he be meeting with and talking to this dude? Think about it. And I think Drake fans truly believe that Kendrick Lamar is the only artist faking streams that have, whose label is pulling streams behind the scenes to get records more popular. They think this has never happened for Drake before. It's straight delusional. Like if that's the case, like, do you think UMG has never done these types of things in Drake's favor? You think every single Drake stream is for real? Like of all his albums on streaming history? Come on, man. Personally, I think the real hip hop thing to do would be for these guys eventually to shake hands, piece it up, move on. That's what everyone before them has done. All the legends before, most of them have done. But there's fans on both sides, right? Who believe that things have gone too far to be rectified. Oh, it's gone too far, which it hasn't. It has not. Kendrick and Drake's beef was essentially just name calling. You're short. You're weird. Your mama. Well, yo daddy. This is basically what it was. But these guys are just both excellent songwriters, so it just sounds way better when they put it on the track. But it's not like Gucci Mane and Jeezy's rap beef. Gucci Mane and Jeezy pieced it up. A dude got killed. Actually killed. Gucci Mane and Jeezy still pieced it up. It's not like Jay-Z and Nas, where someone's baby mama was getting tossed and there's bars about like, yo, I left condoms on your baby seat. I was messing with you. They pieced it up. On Super Ugly, Jay-Z's talking about like, yo, remember that time, Nas, when we went to the sound lab and we chased you out? We was about to beat your ass. Like, that was a good time, wasn't it? Like, nothing like that has happened between Kendrick and Drake. And Jay-Z and Nas still pieced it up. 50 Cent in Game. A dude got shot. Shot 97. Y'all remember Shot 97? A dude got shot. Guns was pulled. Nothing like that between Kendrick and Drake is happening. So the idea that things have gone too far between Kendrick and Drake for there to be apology, that's malarkey. And I think it's also dangerous to be pushing this narrative that, yo, they shouldn't apologize. I think a lot of these Kendrick and Drake stans would be offended if Kendrick and Drake apologized or pieced it up, because they've gone so far into believing the worst about each guy. They've gone so far that they will feel personally offended. But it's dangerous to act like they shouldn't apologize, because if one of them gets killed, if Kendrick gets killed or if Drake gets killed, for sure, if Kendrick gets killed, Drake is getting killed shortly after. We've already seen this in rap before. And I think if Drake gets killed, Kendrick also gets killed. These guys a lot of people are getting paid off of Kendrick and Drake. So to take away someone's cash cow like that, like you're stepping on their work. So if Kendrick or Drake, if one of them gets offed, the other one is going to get offed shortly after. And again, we've already seen this in rap with Tupac and Biggie, and history repeats itself. So I know it's unbelievable. Like you can't even imagine something like that happening, but it can certainly happen. And then y'all gonna be on y'all moral high horses about how rap beef is so bad and how black men need to learn to settle differences, when you got someone like me saying like, yo, these dudes need to piece it up. But some people, not everybody, some people are like, no, it's going too far. It's dangerous to say that. It hasn't gone too far. So do I think that Kendrick actually thinks Drake is some pedo monster? Or do I think he cares? Do I think he thinks it's true, and do I think he cares? No, I don't think Kendrick really cares at all. Like, I think Kendrick was pissed that Drake overstepped the boundary they talked about before the battle, which was don't mention family. This is probably one of the boundaries. And then on the first diss record, Drake oversteps that boundary, and then he oversteps it again. So I think Kendrick is just pissed about that. Then Kendrick is like, well, I'm gonna just say anything I can to just hurt you. I think that's what happened. And I think that's why J. Cole came in the beef the way he did. You know, J. Cole came in that beef like, yeah, bro, like, yeah, diss records, man. Like, oh, yeah, let's have a friendly battle. Like all 3 of these dudes are probably in a group chat planning out the beef. The way it happened, I think Kendrick probably heard Drake's record early, the push-ups, because that got leaked. The original version with the Get Money sample got leaked. And I think he heard the shot, the Whitney mention. And then I think that's when he told J. Cole, like, okay, this guy's not listening. Cole, stay out of this. We have no issue with you. Stay out of this. I think that's what happened. And the records kind of confirm that. On Family Matters, Drake is like, yo, you told Jermaine to stay out of this? Like, what's wrong with you? But I think that's what happened. These guys were talking about it. J. Cole jumps in on some friendly, yeah, bro, diss records, man. not realizing that Kendrick and Drake they have something against each other that neither of them have against J. Cole. And that's why J. Cole steps out smartly. So I tell you, do I think Kendrick actually thinks Drake is some pedo monster? No, because then why would he be having conversations with him? I think he's just mad that Drake overstepped the boundary they spoke about. If Kendrick actually cared about Drake doing certain things that he finds morally reprehensible, why would Kendrick be working with Playboi Carti? Why would Kendrick have Dr. Dre at the pop out? I mean, this is Dr. Dre beat the living daylight out of D Barnes, allegedly, right? And this is something that D Barnes is still pissed about. You follow D Barnes on social media, you can tell that event permanently traumatized her. It happened like years and decades ago, but she's still hurt by it. If Kendrick was drawing like this moral line, he would not be like talking to Drake. He wouldn't be working with Dr. Dre, Playboi Carti. I don't think he really thinks that, and I don't think he really cares to a certain extent. And do I think Drake cares that Kendrick is a wife beater or that Kendrick dates white women? No, I think Drake is just annoyed by Kendrick. Like, I think he's tired of his name being brought up. I think he's tired of being sneak dissed, even though Drake will never acknowledge the sneak disses that he does over the year. I think he just views Kendrick like as a clout chaser, and I don't think they believe these awful accusations that they're making about each other. But I think their fan bases believe that they believe, which makes the fan base believe, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, at the end of the day, I think these guys are just annoyed by each other. And I think they should apologize for the good of hip hop. They owe hip hop. They owe us the community, and they owe hip hop. Because it's not going to be Kendrick or Drake who pop at each other. It's going to be someone on the sidelines who's trying to make a name for themselves, right? To act like it can't happen is foolish. Like, maybe you haven't seen enough murders in hip hop over the past years, but yeah, it can definitely happen. So yeah, what do y'all think? Should they apologize? Do y'all think they are jealous of each other? Yo, this is why I'll never be fully popular, because I don't take one side fully. Like, I don't say enough good about Drake to get the Drake stans to subscribe, and I don't say enough good about Kendrick to get all the way Kendrick subscribes. I don't go way off the edge on either side. So I just get attacked by both sides, but that's fine. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.